Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders are preparing for a critical divisional matchup against the New York Giants this Sunday. And while much of the attention has been focused on the established stars, there is a rookie named quietly making waves in training sessions and practice film, Jaylen Lane. The wide receiver, entering his first season with the Commanders, might not have the headline-grabbing draft status of a top pick, but what he lacks in notoriety, he makes up for with pure explosiveness and a growing football IQ. Head coach Dan Quinn has been vocal about Lane's development, not just as a receiver, but also as a potential punt returner, a role that requires both courage and precision. For a rookie, the pressure of stepping into that responsibility can be overwhelming. But the reports coming out of Washington suggest Lane is handling it with a calm focus that has impressed coaches and teammates alike, setting the stage for his NFL debut. What makes Lane's progress even more intriguing is the way he has absorbed coaching, especially from wide receivers coach Bobby Ingram. Quinn admitted that while he already knew Lane had speed and explosiveness, what has stood out most is how seamlessly he has transferred detailed drill work into live action. It's one thing to practice footwork, body positioning, and option routes in a controlled setting, but it's another to replicate those lessons under the pressure of tight coverage and live defenders. Quinn highlighted how Lane has shown real growth in understanding leverage, pacing himself through routes, and creating separation in man-to-man situations. For a rookie transitioning from a college tempo offense, where plays move fast and defensive looks are often simplified, this adjustment is critical. Lane's willingness to slow down when necessary, stress defenders with calculated movement, and then burst into open lanes has been described as a genuine developmental leap in a short period of time. There is also the special teams factor, which could ultimately be Lane's ticket to immediate playing time. Punt returning is not for the faint of heart. It demands impeccable vision, quick decision-making, and the fearlessness to field kicks with defenders bearing down at full speed. The Commanders have long searched for a consistent weapon in that role, and Lane appears poised to seize the opportunity. His explosive first step and ability to change direction in tight spaces make him a natural candidate, while his ball security and situational awareness continue to improve. Coaches often stress that being a punt returner is as much about mentality as it is about physical tools, and Lane's poise during practice reps has not gone unnoticed. If he can translate that composure into live games, Washington may have found a rookie who can flip field position and inject a spark into their special teams unit, something fans have been craving for several seasons. Of course, the storyline doesn't end with special teams. The Commanders made the decision to carry only 5 wide receivers on their roster, and that choice opens the door for Lane to carve out snaps on offense as well. While he may not immediately see a high target volume, his versatility in the slot and his ability to execute option routes against man coverage could make him a valuable situational weapon. Offensive coordinators often look for rookies who can contribute in packages designed to exploit mismatches, and Lane's speed and agility could give Washington a tactical edge. If defenses are forced to respect him as a vertical threat or quick separator underneath, it could create more space for established playmakers. For a rookie, earning trust from the quarterback and coaching staff is everything, and Lane's steady development suggests he's inching closer to securing a role beyond just returning kicks. When Dan Quinn talks about Lane, there's a mix of genuine admiration and measured expectation. He's not crowning the rookie as a star yet, but his comments reflect a belief that Lane's growth trajectory is pointing upward. Quinn emphasized that college offenses often mask some of the challenges receivers face at the professional level, particularly against sticky man coverage and disguised looks. The fact that Lane is already showing adaptability in those situations is significant. It's also worth noting that the Commanders value receivers who can block, compete physically, and play with toughness, qualities Lane has quietly displayed during camp. Every coaching staff looks for rookies who can absorb details quickly and apply them on the field, and Lane's rapid progression could be the reason his number gets called sooner than many expected. Washington's passing game has room for new contributors, and Lane is doing everything in his power to stake his claim. The upcoming matchup against the New York Giants adds another layer of intrigue. Division games in the NFL are notoriously intense, and even small contributions can shift momentum. Lane's NFL debut will be under the spotlight of a fan base eager to see what the team's young players can bring to the table. Whether he lines up deep to return punts or steps onto the field in a three-receiver set, every snap will be a chance to prove himself. For rookies, the transition from preseason hype to regular season execution can be jarring, but Lane's preparation and attention to detail suggest he will approach the opportunity with confidence. Facing the Giants' defense, known for disguising coverages and bringing pressure, will test Washington's entire offense, and Lane's speed could be a factor in stretching the field or providing an outlet when plays break down. His debut isn't just another storyline. It's a potential spark waiting to ignite. Fans often gravitate toward rookies because they represent hope and possibility, and Jaylen Lane embodies that energy for Washington. While he may not be a household name yet, every season, the NFL produces surprise contributors who rise from relative obscurity to carve out meaningful roles. Lane has the tools, the work ethic, and now the opportunity to be one of those stories. What makes his case so compelling is the blend of natural ability and coachability he has displayed early on. Veterans often say that talent gets you in the door, but adaptability keeps you in the league. Lane's willingness to learn from Ingram, embrace Quinn's challenges, and refine his craft in a short period of time demonstrates maturity that goes beyond his rookie status. For a fan base eager for young players to emerge, watching Lane's journey could become one of the underrated highlights of the Commanders' season. The Commanders' offense itself is in a phase where new contributors are not only welcomed but needed. With only a handful of wideouts on the roster, depth will be tested throughout the season, and injuries or fatigue can quickly thrust rookies into larger roles. That means Lane must be ready not just to field punts, but to run crisp routes, gain separation, and make tough catches in traffic. NFL defenses are ruthless in exposing young players who hesitate, so the margin for error is slim. Yet Lane's steady progress in practice indicates he's not only gaining confidence, but also earning trust. Quarterbacks and coordinators need to believe a receiver will be where he's supposed to be, and that reliability is what often separates practice squad players from game day contributors. Lane's challenge is to translate flashes of brilliance into consistent production, something the Commanders are hopeful he can achieve as the season unfolds. For Quinn and his coaching staff, Lane represents a developmental success story in the making. Rookies often struggle to adjust to the complexities of NFL defenses, but Lane has already demonstrated that he can adapt and evolve. The key now will be sustaining that momentum under the bright lights of game day. Fans will watch closely on Sunday, not just for big plays, but for the small details: the secure catch on a punt, the precise break on a route, the situational awareness in critical downs. These are the moments where rookies build credibility, and Lane's ability to stack those moments could determine how much his role expands in the coming weeks. For Washington, finding reliable contributors from the bottom of the depth chart is essential to long-term success, and Lane's progress offers a glimpse of the kind of depth that winning teams cultivate over time. As kickoff approaches, the excitement surrounding Lane continues to grow. His NFL debut against the Giants will be more than just a personal milestone. It will be a test of preparation, resilience, and composure. Every rookie dreams of that first game, and for Lane, it comes with the added weight of special teams duties and potential offensive snaps. If he delivers, even in small doses, it will validate the confidence Quinn and Ingram have placed in him. For Washington fans, it's a chance to witness the beginning of a journey that could evolve into something much bigger. Whether he becomes a steady role player, a special teams weapon, or even develops into a future offensive standout, the foundation is being laid right now. On Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, the Commanders' faithful will finally get their first live look at Jaylen Lane in burgundy and gold, ready to show the NFL what he's about. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The NFL world was rocked this morning when whispers started swirling about a move nobody, and I mean nobody, had on their bingo card. Chase Young is heading back to Washington. Yes, you heard that right. The former Commanders' first-round pick, who just months ago was in a different jersey and supposedly starting fresh, is reportedly making a sensational return to the team where his professional story began. The rumor has spread like wildfire, with fans, analysts, and insiders alike scrambling to confirm the details of what many are calling a lightning swap. It's being described as a trade that came together in record time, a phone call to paperwork scenario that unfolded before rival franchises even knew Young was back on the market. If true, this marks one of the most stunning twists in recent NFL trade chatter, raising serious questions about Washington's strategy and long-term vision for its defense. The timing of this rumored deal couldn't be juicier. Washington has been desperate to generate headlines that don't revolve around struggles, disappointments, or yet another rebuild narrative. Bringing Chase Young back home, the explosive pass rusher who once carried the promise of being the face of the franchise, would certainly achieve that. The idea of redemption is powerful in sports, and Young returning to the Commanders gives the story a cinematic flair. The prodigal son coming back, wiser, hungrier, and perhaps even more dangerous. But let's not kid ourselves here. This isn't just about headlines or nostalgia. Washington's defense has been searching for that one disruptive presence that forces offensive coordinators to adjust their entire game plan. And if Young is anywhere near the level he flashed during his rookie year, this could be a gamble that pays off in spectacular fashion. The fan base is buzzing, and rivals are shaking their heads in disbelief. Now, we have to talk about the shock factor because this isn't just another mid-season roster adjustment. It's a reunion with layers of intrigue. Chase Young's departure from Washington wasn't exactly smooth. Questions about his health, his consistency, and his long-term fit swirled around the franchise before he was eventually moved. At the time, many believed both sides were better off going their separate ways. But the NFL has a funny way of rewriting scripts when you least expect it. According to several insiders, Washington's front office was surprisingly aggressive in pulling the trigger on this deal, indicating they may have seen a unique opportunity to get their guy back before another contender swooped in. The Commanders are clearly betting on the idea that Young, with experience and a chip on his shoulder, can anchor a defense that desperately needs a spark. It's the kind of high-stakes rumor that electrifies a fan base and divides analysts down the middle. Of course, any conversation about Chase Young returning to Washington has to start with his physical tools. When healthy, he's an absolute freak of nature. Speed, power, burst, and the kind of relentless motor that keeps offensive linemen awake at night. But the question has always been, can he stay on the field consistently? Injuries derailed his momentum in a big way, and it looked like his career trajectory had dipped into dangerous territory. But if the whispers are true, and Washington is confident enough to bring him back, perhaps they've seen something the rest of the league hasn't. Maybe the training staff believes his knee is stronger than ever. Maybe his explosiveness is back. Or maybe the Commanders simply realized that even at 80% of his peak, Chase Young is still a player who changes games. If this is real, Washington might be betting on upside that outweighs risk. Then there's the emotional factor. Fans never truly stopped loving Chase Young. Even through the injuries and the departure, there was always this sense that he was one of theirs. Drafted high, touted as a generational edge rusher, and immediately embraced by the city, Young embodied what Washington wanted to be: tough, relentless, intimidating. His departure left a sour taste, almost like unfinished business. Now, with this rumor of his return, supporters are feeling that rush of excitement all over again. It's not just about stats or sacks, it's about hope. It's about believing that the future might finally tilt in Washington's favor, that the franchise might reclaim some of the swagger it has lost over the years. And let's be honest, the NFL thrives on storylines, and few narratives are juicier than a homecoming of a star who left too soon. From a locker room perspective, this move could be seismic. Veterans know Chase Young. They've gone to battle with him, and they understand the energy he brings both on and off the field. Younger players, meanwhile, grew up watching his dominance at Ohio State and his early NFL flashes. Bringing him back instantly raises the level of competition in practice and demands accountability from everyone around him. Imagine being an offensive lineman trying to earn a roster spot, and suddenly you're matched up daily against Chase Young. It sharpens steel. Coaches love that dynamic, and teammates feed off it. There's a contagious energy to his presence, and Washington might be looking for that jolt in a season where momentum has been hard to come by. If this rumor becomes reality, The Commanders could suddenly transform from a middling defense to one with a dangerous edge. But let's address the elephant in the room. Why would Washington take him back so quickly? Usually, when a franchise parts ways with a former top pick, it signals closure. Yet here we are, with whispers suggesting Washington couldn't resist bringing him back. Theories are everywhere. Some believe the Commanders saw enough growth in Young since leaving to justify the reunion. Others think Washington panicked, fearing they were watching a once-in-a-generation talent slip into the hands of a rival. Then there are the skeptics, suggesting this is nothing more than a PR move, a flashy distraction designed to draw attention away from organizational issues. Whatever the reasoning, the sheer audacity of the move is undeniable. Fans are debating whether this is genius or desperation, but either way, it has people talking. And that, in today's NFL, is sometimes the entire point. The ripple effect of this rumored deal extends beyond Washington. Think about the NFC East, where defenses are constantly in an arms race. If Chase Young is back and truly locked in, that means quarterbacks like Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, and Daniel Jones could be in for some very long afternoons. The balance of power in the division shifts dramatically when a game-wrecking edge rusher is in play. Rival front offices are undoubtedly scrambling, wondering how they let this happen and what adjustments need to be made. Beyond the division, playoff contenders across the NFC are already imagining scenarios where a rejuvenated Chase Young ruins their carefully crafted game plans. That's the beauty of this rumor. It doesn't just impact Washington, it forces a recalibration of strategy for everyone else in the conference. That's why the NFL rumor mill can be more entertaining than the games themselves. As with any major rumor, there are skeptics. Some argue this entire story feels too convenient, too perfectly timed to distract from Washington's off-field issues. Others doubt that Young has enough left in the tank to warrant such excitement. But here's the thing, sports thrive on hope, and fans don't care about skepticism in moments like these. The idea of Chase Young returning to the Commanders is enough to ignite passion, fill stadium seats, and dominate headlines for weeks. Even if the move ultimately falls short on the field, the psychological win of bringing back a fan favorite can't be dismissed. And if it does pan out, if Young rediscovers that rookie magic and begins terrorizing quarterbacks again, then Washington might have pulled off one of the boldest, smartest, and most unexpected moves of the season. It's a gamble worth watching, and that's what makes it thrilling. At the end of the day, whether this rumor proves to be fact or fiction, it has already achieved something remarkable. People are talking about Washington with excitement again. That alone is a victory in a season filled with frustration. Chase Young's name carries weight, his story resonates, and his return would feel like a jolt of electricity surging through the fan base. It's the kind of headline you don't just scroll past. You stop, you read, you argue, you hope. That's the power of the NFL rumor mill, where whispers can turn into movement and movement can reshape entire franchises. If Chase Young is indeed on his way back to Washington, buckle up, because the Commanders might have just rewritten the script of their season. If not, the buzz proves one thing. His shadow still looms large over the team that once made him their centerpiece. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.